So the world is finally starting to heal. Assassin's Creed is going back to stealth, to its roots, what we know and love: assassins, templars, very packed cities, none of that open world bullshit that we had in the past couple of years. Assassin's Creed Mirage is a game I've been waiting for a very long time, and I just finished it and I have a lot to say about it. How does it compare to the old games? How does it compare to the new games? There's a lot to discuss in this video, and that's what we're gonna be doing today. Before we get into it, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, because it really helps out the channel. I talk about open world games, that's kind of my thing. If you're interested, check out the channel. I have plenty of videos. Without further ado, let's get talking. This game has been on my list for a very long time because, if in case you didn't know, I am half Arabic. So in fact, I do speak Arabic, I do know the culture, and I am really excited to play a game that does represent my culture in a nice way. So I was really excited to play this game, same as Assassin's Creed Origins. So how does the story compare to the other games? How does the location and the culture translate? All in all, it's a pretty damn good one. I did enjoy everything that connected to the culture and history of Baghdad in this game. It's done really well. The Arabic translation is very much appreciated, although I prefer the English one because the Arabic does sound like it was recorded by AI most of the time, so I do prefer the English version, but I is appreciated to have. The whole culture of the city is very well represented. The whole Muslim culture and the whole diversity that Baghdad had in that time with the Christians and the Jews, it's also very well represented. I do appreciate historical accuracy. I did enjoy the whole city of Baghdad. It's one of the best cities that Ubisoft have ever made, in my honest opinion. I know that I might sound biased, but in my opinion, it is a very well made city. I did enjoy every district of it, and I saw a lot of people complaining that the districts don't feel that different from one another, which is completely false in my opinion. If you pay attention, you will see the differences. Each district has a different vibe and a different history for it, and it has a different and very specific place in Baghdad and what it represents to the people. And if you pay attention, you will see the story differences and the whole just different buildings and different streets, different people in the districts. And I do think that the districts are very well made and they are very beautiful. Out of the 5 districts, there's only one that I didn't like that much, which is sadly the starting one. So the opening of the game wasn't that good for me, but the other districts are very beautiful, very unique, and I did enjoy exploring them on foot and on the rooftops. Which brings me into the whole parkour system. They brought back the parkour from the older games. Now you can climb, jump, run faster than Eivor could, or Cassandra even. Cassandra kinda just very brokenly climbed on everything that ever existed. That wasn't that much fun because it took out the challenge from parkour. And also Eivor was a little too slow for my taste, so this is a perfect marriage between the two. It's like the old games. You climb fast, but you need to limit yourself, and it's not just press X and climb anything that exists. So I do appreciate the movement of the game, and I do appreciate the whole assassin integration into the movement. You do feel like an assassin while you move around Baghdad. You have the whole social stealth system that also flows very well into the streets of the city and into Basim's whole personality and the way that he fights and lives. Unlike Eivor, he's not a brawler, so you can just go and fight 20 people head on like it's nothing. Although if you do play on an easier difficulty, then it can be done, but story-wise it doesn't make that much sense. And I do appreciate that Basim is a lot more stealthy than Eivor, and he is a lot more accurate with his movements. But again, like I always do, I am rambling, so let's focus it up and talk about the story of the game. It is a very well made story. I did enjoy going through it, but they do have to do something about these cutscenes because they are just straight up ugly. I don't know what Ubisoft needs to do to improve them, but these NPCs are just, they feel like they're 10 years ago. When we have games like Cyberpunk or Red Dead Redemption 2, these NPCs just don't stand a chance against them. Even though the city itself and like the camera work and the voice acting is very well and I do enjoy all of it, the cutscenes just fall short because the NPCs are just so goddamn ugly. Even though they do have a good design, the clothes they wear are interesting and that's really nice, but their faces and their movements are just so robotic. They don't feel like people, they feel like NPCs. And coming off from Cyberpunk 2077 and seeing the NPCs there, it's just a whole different world. So they do have to do something about that, which is my main complaint with the game, that the NPCs just don't feel real and the story really gets dragged down by the bad cutscenes. It was the same problem in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Even if I do enjoy the story, I just can't go through with it all happy and enjoyable because the NPCs don't feel like humans and it ruins the story and the impact that it could have. But the whole concept of the story is a really nice concept and I did enjoy it, but like I said, the cutscenes kinda ruin it. So if you can get past that, you are gonna enjoy the story. And the last problem with it is that it didn't really impact that big the world of Assassin's Creed. So we already know where Basim ends up because we already played through the story of Eivor. This one was supposed to fill in the blanks that we had with Basim, and in my honest opinion, I don't feel that it did that. I feel like it gave us more context to who he is, but it didn't fill in the blanks of who he wants to be, or what his purpose is, or how he connects to Loki. It didn't fill in those blanks. It just gave us more context to where he comes from, how he talks like, what are his opinions about stuff. But we still don't know a lot of things about Basim, and I am kind of disappointed in that because I expected the game to just give us a whole comprehensive explanation of who he is, who Loki is, and how he fits into the big picture of Assassin's Creed. So if you're expecting a big impact on the whole world of the game, don't expect that because that's not really what this game is about. But even with all of these complaints about the story, I still do appreciate that it is a story about the assassins and the Templars, which is what we all have been waiting for since Assassin's Creed Origins. It's finally happening, we're back to assassins, we're back to sneaking around, assassinating people. Combat RPGness isn't the point of this game, sneaking around and being an assassin is. And the whole system that they built around finding these people that you need to assassinate and how they connect into the story is a lot more engaging than it was in Valhalla or Odyssey, where you had this board that you just needed to hunt NPCs down in. This game connects it a lot more to the story because it is the main focus of the game. You are an assassin on a mission to kill people who control Baghdad, and that's all it is. It can be a bad point for the game if you're looking for something more big or large, impactful. But if you're looking for a specific story about assassins, just like in the good old days, then this is what this game is for. You're gonna enjoy the story. And just as a side note, I just wanna say that when it comes to the assassins, all of their outfits are really badass. Basim has some of the best outfits I've seen in any Assassin's Creed game. Both his starting outfit and his end outfit, both of them are really, really fun to look at and really just look amazing design-wise, and that boils down to every assassin in the game. His mentor, Roshan, also has a very badass outfit that you can get, and most of the assassins just have really good-looking outfits, which has been missing for a while from Assassin's Creed games. Okay, so we talked about the story of the game, now let's get into the gameplay. Gameplay, in my eyes, boils down to two parts, the whole city and exploration side, and the gameplay where it comes to combat. So let's start with the city. Baghdad is split into 5 different districts with some surrounding desert area that also has different activities that you can take part in. But it is not as deep as the other RPG games, or even the other games before that. This game doesn't have any kind of mini games that you can go do, like raids that you can go do and stuff like that. It's just open world stuff like collecting pages and collectibles and whatnot. It's nothing deep and it's very boring if I'm gonna be completely honest, but it goes more into the gameplay side, so I'm gonna discuss that in a bit. But for now, Baghdad is really interesting. It's one of the best cities that Ubisoft ever made, in my opinion. It's really big, there's a lot of things and places to see, although I do hate that there's not much to do after you finish the story of the game. There's no faction wars, there's no locations that the faction captures then you need to take over, like it was in Assassin's Creed Odyssey with the war campaign stuff. There's nothing of that. When you finish the game, it is done. Baghdad is already explored, nothing else to do in it. There are some side missions that I'm pretty sure are repeatable and randomly generated, but other than those, there's not much to do in Baghdad. And it's really a shame because it's a really amazing looking city. Every district is beautiful in its own way, and I just enjoy just walking around, taking a look. It's really beautiful. The gameplay you're seeing right now is from the richest district in the game, and it just has so many different quirks and different design aspects that I just enjoy looking at. I enjoy taking a walk in this game. I didn't enjoy that for a while in any of these games, but now with this game, I genuinely just enjoy getting off the horse or getting down from a building and taking a walk in the street because it's just so interesting and so beautiful. It's virtual tourism at its best, like I said in my Far Cry review. So the world that the game takes place in is really amazing and it's ripe for possibilities. Now let's look at the other side of the coin in the gameplay part of the deal. This game has some of the most boring gameplay, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Some of the most boring gameplay in any Assassin's Creed game I played. I'm gonna be honest with you, I play these games because each one of them has a different and unique vibe to it and a different just gameplay aspect. Black Flag had the ships. Assassin's Creed Origins had the first time for the open world and had a lot of different side missions and different bosses that you can find in the open world, and it was just fun to explore. That was the gameplay aspect of it, that this game is now an RPG. With Assassin's Creed Odyssey, we had the battles that you can take part in, the mythical creatures, and even with Valhalla, as much as I hate that game, at least it had the raids, which was unique to that game. And you can take this aspect back to the older games as well. Other than the Black Flag game, Unity had a very engaging parkour system. Syndicate had the gangs. Every game has something unique about it. This game feels like Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC without the bloat of being an RPG. So it doesn't really have any gameplay aspect that's really unique to this game. I could just change Eivor and put him in Basim's place and it would feel like Valhalla. Eivor and Basim are different because Basim isn't a brute like Eivor, but the gameplay feels the same. There is nothing that makes this game different from Valhalla. The only big thing that I can think of in this area is the whole assassin focus kind of thing, which just means that you can slow down time, tag a couple of enemies, and instantly execute them, which to be honest really breaks the game. I have more than one occasion that I had to assassinate someone and they put him in a really tricky place to get to with a ton of guards guarding him, and in other Assassin's Creed games that would have been a problem. In this game, just turn on the assassin focus. Just tag all 5, 6 enemies on the screen, press a button, they're all dead, mission accomplished, get out. It really breaks the game, and that's honestly the only unique thing about this game when it comes to gameplay. And that's really a shame. I would have loved to see something that's replayable, or even not necessarily replayable, just something unique to do in this game, something that I didn't do in other Assassin's Creed games. There were a lot of possibilities, but sadly, Ubisoft didn't use any of them. So when it comes to gameplay, it's by far the worst aspect of this game. It feels fun to assassinate people, that's great. The stealth system is really fun. It's similar to the one in Valhalla, obviously. So it is fun to go around and assassinate people because you're a sneaky assassin, but it doesn't have anything unique about it. I could do the same thing in Valhalla, but I would have instead of a Middle Eastern paint, a medieval paint on it, which is fun, I guess, but like I said, it means that the game is not unique. But it does feel good, but it ain't unique. And the main place that you can see this big change is the whole RPG system. If you remember, Assassin's Creed Valhalla had a really big criticism that it was just too bloated. And I also hated that about the game. There were the different things that you can put on your weapon, these stones that give you special buffs. You had 500 or something skill points, which is just out of this world. That's crazy. You had just way too much bloat. This game really, really takes that down to the old days, where you barely had any skill points and you barely had any RPG elements to worry about. And I do appreciate that, but on the other hand, it really makes the game boring, to be honest. The skill tree is genuinely one of the most boring skill trees in any Assassin's Creed game. I felt that throughout the whole game I unlocked maybe 2, maybe 3 unique skills or things that I felt are worthy of being in a skill tree. Other than that, every skill I bought just felt like a little thing that I already should have had. It doesn't have unique skills, and that's really a disappointment for me because they could really shine here. This game, like I said, already has a really amazing city. So just give me more stuff to do in this city. Give me a more unique gameplay experience. I want to just enjoy my time here. So give me more skills. Give Basim more skills. But this game sadly doesn't do that. So that's a really disappointing aspect of it, the skill tree. But I am happy that they did take it down from the like 500 skills in Valhalla. So it is a good thing, but it also isn't the best thing. Take that as you will. And you can see right now on the inventory system, there's also a lot less bloat. It just boils down to your two weapons, your sword and your dagger, and your outfit, and that's pretty much it. And speaking of the outfits, they're really great. Like I said, I already mentioned this before, I just want to mention it again. The outfits in this game are really out of this world. I love all of them basically. Most of them. And that's really just a nice thing to do. But like I said, the main point here is they took down the bloat. It's fun. It's not an RPG, and it's fun to go through a game for once in a while that doesn't worry me with the 500 hours it takes to make a character build. So as you can probably tell, I'm really passionate about this game. Like I said, it comes close to my heart. I do appreciate its existence, and it's just a sign that Assassin's Creed is going back to its roots, to where it should be. I am not a hater of the RPG series. In fact, I do love Origins and Odyssey. I love them really, really a lot. I have a lot of time sunk into those games. So I don't hate the RPG games, but at the same time, I do appreciate where the series came from. I do enjoy the assassin story. I do like the Mystios and the Hidden Ones and whatnot, but I want assassins, and I'm really glad that this game exists and it takes us back to that area of the world. And also, like I said, I really appreciate the whole Arab and Muslim culture in this game. Really warms my heart. Western audiences, mainly Western audiences, get to see the whole side, the good side of the culture, and how nice it is, and all the unique things about it. So I do appreciate this game. It's really an amazing achievement from Ubisoft. I didn't expect them to go back to the old style of Assassin's Creed for a really long time, but they did. They surprised me. And that's really, really nice. And I'm really proud of them. And I can't wait for the next Assassin's Creed. But that's all I had to say about Assassin's Creed Mirage. Tell me what you think about it. Did you play it? Do you plan to play it? Do you even care about it? Let me know down in the comments. I really enjoyed my time with this game, and I would recommend it to anyone who enjoyed Assassin's Creed 1 or Assassin's Creed 2 even. But like I said, let me know what you think. My next video is gonna be probably about the new Avatar game. Yeah, that's the one. It's releasing this Thursday, I think, so I'm gonna be playing that game. I'm not a reviewer, so I will not get an early copy, so I'm gonna have to play it by myself and review it. The video will be up probably next Sunday, 1 week from now. Tune in for that if you're interested. If you're interested in other open world games, anything that's close to them, check the channel. I recently made a video about Remnant 2, I made a video about Cyberpunk, a lot of different games. Check it out, let me know what you think. Talk to me, check the channel, it would be very much appreciated. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, do the YouTube stuff. And as always, thank you for watching and have a nice day.